Hello and good morning, and welcome to week 10 of APCV 371, Artificial Intelligence for Cybersecurity. This week's topic is probabilistic reasoning under uncertainty. And I have not pre-recorded the lecture, so I'll be going ahead and giving the lecture live tonight after I first give an overview of the week and go over the assignment. So this module introduces probabilistic reasoning as a method for handling uncertainty. And you will learn how belief networks and temporal models support inference when information is incomplete or noisy. Cybersecurity contexts include sensor data and uncertain threat evidence. And so this week's readings are in Chapter 9, specific sections. That would be sections 9.1 through 9.4 and section 9.7. And in those sections, after doing your readings and hearing the lecture on the material, the objectives are that you should be able to explain probability and conditional independence, describe belief networks and Markov models, and apply probabilistic reasoning to cyber uncertainty. So this week you do have an assignment, and this one again is in a worksheet format. So you download the attached document, which I have open here, and you fill it out and then upload your answers, upload the worksheet. So this one is called Interpreting Uncertain Security Signals. So the objective is to analyze a sequence of security events and make decisions under uncertainty using structured reasoning. And this is using like types of reasoning that we're going to talk about in the lecture tonight. So the scenario is that you are reviewing activity for a user account. The following events occurred within a short time window: multiple failed login attempts, successful login from a new geographic location, execution of a PowerShell script, outbound network traffic to an unfamiliar domain. And you do not have full visibility into the system, only partial visibility. So then part one is initial risk judgment. You determine what you think the overall risk level is and circle it, and then give your primary reason for that based on basing your answer on the combination of events, not just one event. And then you decide what is the key uncertainty, because remember, you only have like partial visibility. So identify one missing piece of information that could significantly change your assessment. That would be your key uncertainty. Part two, this didn't format quite like I wanted it to. This should be like a table. After the lecture, I'll see if I can fix this document, format this a little better, and upload it again. So in here, for each event, provide one realistic benign explanation and one realistic malicious explanation. And then the events are listed here. And again, this should be in table format, like your previous worksheets. And I'll see if I can correct that and upload it again. Part three, dependency reasoning. Select two events from the scenario that are likely related, that have a type of dependency. And then circle which kind of relationship you believe it is, independent or connected. And the explanation, explain how one event affects the likelihood of the other. And if they're connected, what underlying cause, what is the shared cause? What underlying cause could explain both events? Part four is competing explanations. So focus on this event: outbound network traffic to an unfamiliar domain. and give the benign explanation and a malicious explanation. And those would be competing explanations. And then say which one you think is more likely, the benign or the malicious, and give your justification. And then part 5 is state over time. Use the sequence of events provided in the scenario. Fill in the most likely progression of system state from normal to compromised. What other, list like 2 other states, label 2 other states that you think it might go through between normal and progressed all the way to compromised. And again, this is a table. I might want to fix it and add the lines. But this is a table, risk change by event. So for each of these events, what is the risk change? An increase, no change, or decrease? And what is the reason for your assessment of that? Or the reason for the change. 5.3, key transition point. Which event most strongly indicates a shift towards compromise, and then why? Part 6, hidden state inference. You cannot directly observe whether the system is compromised. So 6.1 is what are some signals indicating possible compromise? List 2 to 3. 6.2, additional evidence needed. What specific additional evidence would increase your confidence before escalating? And then part 7 is final judgment. Based on all evidence, what is your final assessment? Likely benign, uncertain, or likely compromised? And give a justification for that. And that's it. I'm going to pause my screen sharing for a moment and go back to that assignment. Okay, I'm taking it down just for the moment so that after the lecture I can fix the formatting on those couple of areas and then re-upload it. So it'll be live again and available to you shortly after I finish the lecture. But before a lot of people start downloading it, I just want to disable it briefly so I can make a couple formatting fixes. And I'm ready to bring up the PowerPoint and give the lecture. So I'm going to end this part 1 of the recording, and then I'll start re-recording again for the second part. Actually, it looks like I might not have been recording, unfortunately. So I may have to re-record that first part later for anyone who wasn't here live. But I'll go ahead and start the recording for the lecture part.